Of Fearful to Amp. I'm super excited. Longtime friend, old co-worker.
Yeah.
But Kindsey Black is here with me. We've got 100 million things. We've already got a whole year worked out. So this podcast is the beginning of something new.
Yeah.
And so many great things about it. So incredibly grateful that you decided to join me.
Yes.
This has been a long time coming. And so, longtime friend.
That's right.
So if you know Kindsey, you know we're going to have a ton of things to talk about. So
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes,
Welcome.
me too. Yes.
Awesome. So it is, what do we say, 19 days till Christmas.
Yes.
Okay. So 19 days till Christmas, incredible holiday hustle.
Yes.
But also a lot of holiday stress. And so we want to tackle some things about our life, health, moms, families, and all the things that it's supposed to be the most wonderful time of year.
Yeah. Yes.
But in reality, it can be a crap show, right?
Sure.
Let's just get real.
Yeah.
And we were talking the other day at the gym, and it's like, okay, let's talk about the things that everybody wants to hear. Everybody wants to know. We've got a gazillion things going on,
Yes.
and we're going to talk about those. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Yes.
And let's just tackle some things. So, first thing we're going to do, right? Like always, want to start off with talking about gratitude, because in reality, there's always something to be grateful for. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Even in the most worst days,
Yeah.
the most stressful days, you get home and you're like, wow. But there's always something to be thankful for, but we hit the ground running, especially
Absolutely.
as moms.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And we kind of forget to really count our blessings. So I'm going to let you start. Something that you're incredibly grateful for just right now in this season, that first thing that comes to your mind.
I would just say, this past weekend,
Yes.
we did our ribbon cutting and grand opening for the Iron Knot. So for those that don't know what all that is, that's our business that we've recently started, an adventure, I would like to say. It's a wedding venue and event venue here in our local town, Bonne Terre, Missouri. And we had the ribbon cutting and the grand opening. Michelle was there.
Yeah. Awesome.
And super successful, awesome turnout. And you're always, business owner, you're always kind of leery about how those things are going to go.
Absolutely.
Are we going to have a good turnout? Is it going to be crickets? You just don't ever know. And, just real life,
Exactly.
And I went into it just hoping for the best, and it was the best possible outcome.
Absolutely.
We had a food truck there, sold out. I mean, everybody had a good, successful day. So, that's easy to be thankful for and have that gratitude. So,
well, and like you said, so we live in a small town, if you don't know us, and if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, wherever you listen to, right? We live in a small town, and you don't know, right?
No.
Just because it goes wild in a large city doesn't mean, and you just don't know. But it takes a lot of guts.
Yeah.
A lot of balls, right?
Woo.
It takes a lot of balls to be a woman, a woman business owner at that, but it takes a lot to really put yourself out there and have this big vision and that big dream. And for those of you who don't know Kindsey, or for however you might have missed anything that she does or follow her, so mompreneur, multiple entrepreneur, and that's why we mesh so well, and we have a ton of things to talk about. I was happy and grateful that I wasn't busy at that time, and I got to come because it was phenomenal. I wish I had just that much of her creativity and her style, because if you know me, like, I can be all in a lot of things, but when it comes to, like, say, my hair, my makeup, and getting dressed, that's the last thing I want to think about. It needs to be super simple. But she made this, what used to be a church and a Masonic lodge, like, just absolutely amazing for a wedding right at the church, bridal suite, groom suite, and then an event hall. Just absolutely amazing, but yet kept all of the original historic stuff. So kudos for that.
Thank you.
I
Takes
love
all
it.
kinds of kinds.
Yes, it does. And for those of you who think you can't do something neat in a small town, I call BS.
Yeah.
Because you can.
Yeah,
if you dream big and you really have an idea of, like, look, there's no one around doing that, but yet people are paying to go out here to get it.
Absolutely.
Why not bring it in? So, and I'm going to share a little bit of gratitude, because in the midst of growing a business, you have to be grateful for some hurdles and this incredible deep knowing that makes you nauseous about the next step.
Oh, yeah. And it's real. It's real.
It's super real.
Yeah.
And that's the conversation we were having, but that's for another time.
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about the craziness as a mom, especially during the holidays, entrepreneur and growing into the next step, right? And then just the physical needs and the physical stress that we deal with. So moms, if you relate to this, by all means, shoot us a DM or share in the comments, because this is going to be on Spotify and then, of course, all of our other channels.
Yeah.
So, and we are Chatty Cathy's.
Yes.
We're soul sisters.
Yes, we are.
All right. So, Kindsey, let's just talk about this, because we're in two different ventures as a moms, right?
Yes.
We knew each other pre-children.
Yeah.
And then watched each other just grow as we work together, grow as moms, and then grow into mompreneurs. And I love watching that in a small town. But so my daughter is freshman in college. Briggsy is adorable, and he's 3. So we're in very different stages, but yet so very similar.
Yes.
So what is the biggest challenge as a mom of a young one and a business that you see different in the holidays than just the regular year?
Oh my. All the things, all the things. And I know people that are watching, and I know because even if you're not living it right now, same for the viewers, you've been there probably as a mother. And this time of year, as like we said, it's supposed to be the most wonderful time of year.
I guess we could have had Christmas music playing.
Yeah, really set the mood. But, it is the most wonderful time of year. But with that, there's all the things, okay? You've got parties at school. It's like every week you're getting something. For those that don't know me or know, my little boy just goes to school a couple days a week, half days, just to socialize, whatever you want to call it. And even just that, like, I feel like I'm chasing my tail, trying to keep up with that. You need to take them to lights. You need to take them to see Santa. You need to do all the things. And then on the backside of all that, as business owners, it's about to be the end of the year. And what comes with the end of the year? You got taxes, all the fun things, the real life stuff.
Absolutely.
And it's just being realistic with yourself, I think. But it makes it, you want to be a great mom. Have to be a great business owner, or you starve, realistically.
Yes,
feast or famine. And just trying to balance it and remind yourself, like, I'm one person. Even I have a great supportive husband, but we're each just one person trying to manage all the things, and just not comparing. I think that's the biggest thing. You 100%. See all the Pinterest moms, and I'm extra. If you know me, I'm extra.
I'm not.
I am, and that's why
I can be, but
yeah.
But that's what makes us unique.
Yes, yeah. And you just have to know.
And you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Social media has set us up for the comparison game.
Yes.
How many times have you? Very first thing you did in the morning was got up. You went to the bathroom, probably. Yeah. Right, but you grabbed your phone and you were already on social media, and you've already set your brain up for that comparison game. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Look at all the stuff that they decorated. Look at all the things they did this weekend, and you're already feeling like you didn't fulfill that mom role or the extra mode that someone else did.
And you're tired before you start.
Yeah. And you're already feeling like maybe less than.
Oh, yeah.
As a mom, as a, just in general, maybe your house, right? Because everyone is good at something, but in reality, you cannot be great at everything.
Can't.
You can.
Hard pill to swallow, but no, you can't.
It is. And as moms, we are kind of expected, but in reality, June Cleaver was just a TV show. It's not real.
No.
You can't. And you have to really be able to kind of niche down of, okay, I'm really good at this, but like as much as I want to be able to have all of Kindsey's crafty stuff, like that's not real.
Yeah.
My best friend decorated my house. Let's be real. Yeah. She's good at it. I'm not. But I can do this really, really well. Yeah. So why not hone in on that? But also being able to realize that you need help when in reality, as moms, we're not supposed to ask for that. Yeah. And so I think that's a great point, because we try to be everywhere all the time, because typically that is our role as a mom. Yeah. There's not very many dads that, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but there's not many dads that are filling in as the room mom, and that's just, and in reality, that's kind of our heart. Yeah, that's our touch point, and you want to be it, but you also have to recognize what you're not good at. Yeah. I sucked as a room mom, just saying. I wanted to be with my daughter, and I wanted to be there, and she wanted me to be there, but that wasn't my niche. And don't ask me to make anything, because I can barely draw a stick person. Yeah. But yet I feel like I needed to be able to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and even just like you talking about like my creativeness, I am, and I have all the ideas, but as far as having the time to put my hands on these projects and be everywhere doing all things and being a good mom, because at the end of the day, that's most important to me.
Absolutely.
And same for you. We're different in a lot of ways, but that's one thing, family first, you know.
Absolutely.
And
got one shot.
One shot. And just another similarity between the two of us is you've got Reese, just one, and I've got just Briggs, just one. That's not only kid I'm gonna have too.
Right. I'm not starting over.
No, and I'm not, and I'm not, and there's that added pressure, just, okay, I've got one time to do this. And really, you just have to relieve yourself of that pressure. Social media is an incredible thing. As business owners, we couldn't thrive without it. But on the flip side of that, when it comes to personal lives, you have to draw that boundary and just say, I'm one person, I can do what I can do, but I can't do it all. Yeah. It's simple. It is really simple if we allow ourselves to think that way and just say, hey, I can't be all things. That's not real life.
Yeah, it isn't. And if you deal with any, we talk about this all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Just dealing with ADHD. Yeah. You start, and for me, recognizing it as an adult.
Yeah.
And I'm saying like now.
yeah, but that's okay.
But that helps you also really hone in on your strengths, your weaknesses, and in reality, how you deal with the stress in your life.
And your limits.
And my limits, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to say, like, I want to do that, but it's just going to have to come in time.
Yeah.
And what you were talking about, like, we're trying to be all in.
Yeah.
You're trying to be your mom, or the mom,
mm-hmm.
the wife, the business owner, the cook, the house cleaner, the social media director, the marketer, right?
Yeah.
All of those things, even if you're not running your own business, you still are doing your job, and your job might be multifaceted as well.
Yeah.
But learning, and I tell people in the gym all the time, there's strength in knowing your weakness, because if you know your weakness, then one, you can recognize it, you can own it in the aspect of like, I'm never going to be a decorator. Let's just face it, right?
Sure.
But can I educate you? Can I talk to you about this, that, and the other? Absolutely.
Yeah. Knowing where to pour your energy into.
Yeah. Am I going to give you great dressing advice and coordinate your outfit with your jewelry and your hair and makeup? Nay. Not at all. But if you want a great workout and you want to be able to work out at home and you have goals with this and, I'm your person.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But being able to know your weaknesses and either one, work on them, right?
Yeah.
So for me, getting organized and structuring out things helps me also not be as stressed. Because otherwise, I got all these great things. Like you said, you got all these visions of things, but then how to facilitate them in the right manner of time to where you don't get, especially with, a little bit of ADHD, like you get super excited about something. I'm all excited about putting all the Christmas stuff up, and then I'm like, well, crap, I got to take all that stuff down.
Yeah.
Or you want to do all these great things. And so, again, kind of coming back to it, like the stress that we put on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So in reality, no, I'm not the room mom. Okay, so please don't ask me to make games.
Yeah, but you can still show up.
I will bake cookies and I will do all that stuff like nobody's business.
Absolutely.
I love that, right? I can own that, but I can't own this. And that's and as a business owner, it's like, okay, so I can only get so much done in order to make it, because I have a 5-gallon bucket, but I like to fill it with 10 gallons.
You just can't do.
Do you do that?
Yeah. Just a little.
So if you can relate with that, like, please message us. We love hearing from. I love hearing from people, because it's like, in reality, we are real. We are super, super real.
Yeah.
We don't try to sugarcoat anything, and that's why we wanted to bring this, because in reality, we're super excited. Like, we know this is going to happen about every 6-8 weeks.
Yeah.
And we want to hear from you, like, what are some things that you're struggling with? What are some things that you want to know about, and what do you want to hear us talk about? Because
And I would say, and I think you would probably say too, the best advice and the best communication with like other business owners isn't even usually like I'm not saying that not ever, but just financial or how to grow. It's most of the time it's just saying, hey, like, I can relate. What you're feeling, the stress, the headache, the balancing of all things, even since we've because we've always flipped houses and done things, but it's more quiet. Mm-hmm. When you open a business to the public, you get more feedback or more opinions, I guess you could say. And some of the best feedback from other entrepreneurs and business owners is just like, hey, are you drowning? that's okay, and just feeling like, hey, okay, I'm normal. Like, I'm not supposed to be Superman. Oh, they're stressed out too, and they're drowning in whatever they're doing. Oh, that made me feel good. Exactly. Not that you want anyone to suffer, but it's just like, we're all human, and you can get all the best advice, like I said, financial and how to grow your business, and that's great, and we all need it.
100%.
But we're just real people. So hearing that feedback and having people message or whatever,
absolutely.
It's like, okay, we're all human, and it feels good to hear that sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. So. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about that physical need, that physical stress, and how, because you brought this up, and I really loved it. She was like, we need to talk about how taking care of yourself, especially during the holidays, and where fitness fits in, because let's be real. If you've had a long, stressful day, you're momming, you're growing a business, you're doing your job, I'm going to tell you, ladies, the last thing you're thinking about is having sex when you get home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And not that you don't love it, but like sometimes it's hard to shut off in order to move into that space, especially if you don't feel good in your clothes, in your body, in your mindset. And you're
already battling that insecurity.
Yeah. And if you got up with the comparison game, the day was a little bit of a crap show.
Most days.
The kids spitting green pea soup, and you got another soccer mom comparing something. By the time you get home, you don't have much left in the tank physically, mentally, or sexually. No. And I think
that's real life.
That is real life, but I think it gets even worse during the holidays.
It does.
And if that's offensive to you, I'm really sorry, but that's real life.
Yeah.
Because no one has it put together all the time.
No.
And my daughter laughs because everybody's like, oh, you work out all the time. And she's like, if people knew, you're just happy when you get to work out. Yeah. Because in reality, and I know people are so tired of hearing the whole self-care. Yeah. It's overutilized.
It is.
It's became almost like a laughing.
It is.
But
and a lot of it's unrealistic. So you have to get back to the basics.
Exactly, unrealistic. But in reality, we all have 30 to 60 minutes that you can invest in yourself physically.
Absolutely.
Because in reality, you wasted it on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, in your comparison game. But so Kindsey's trained with me from the very beginning in my home.
Yes.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago. And we've worked together off and on for years. And she brought it up because in reality, we're very, very busy in any season of your life. But that moment to take for yourself.
It's huge.
And I want you to kind of elaborate on, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but
no,
we talked about it. But I want you to elaborate a little bit on how you felt when you took that time to take care of yourself when you were busy pre-mom, right? And you had other jobs. Now, now as a mom, that you take that a little bit of time while Briggs is at school, but not in an unrealistic manner. If you think you're going to get off work and get it done and not have life call on you for your sports and your other things, you're setting yourself up for failure. You have to be realistic in that time. But I want you to elaborate with some people, especially if they are young moms, newer moms. Yeah. And even if they're in kind of in that middle school age, when life is busy, but it's getting ready to shift where they still need you, but it's not as much. Yeah. Because I'm already there, and I have to make that. Doesn't mean that I don't want less with my kid, because I love it when she's coming to the gym and we're working out together, because that instills what a healthy life balance looks like. Yeah. So I want you to talk a little bit about pre-kid and now as a mompreneur and busy mom, what that means to you to have a physical balance. Yeah. If you can have it.
Yeah. Well, and just like she said, we've been doing this for, over 5 years now. So pre-kid, I was scraping by, trying to get through college, and then I started, working full time. That's where we really all started. I was doing clinicals and stuff, and I'm human, and I would tell myself, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. I'm busy. I've got this, that, and the other. And I will say that never worked out for me. For all the viewers that are watching, I tried to trim the fat, and in my mind, I'm like, an expense, or it's time that I could be sleeping and I needed to sleep because I was deprived.
Yeah. Sleep is part of your fitness and it's part of your physical health.
But it never paid off. That never paid off, and I'd always come back to you and be like, hey,
I feel like crap.
The walk of shame, but I would just be like, hey, I feel like crap. I've cut this out. I knew better. I've known better. Anytime I've ever done it and stopped because of life, I always pay for it. I know I need it. It's a need, and just find that balance. As a mom, so I thought I was busy. I'm 30 times busier now, especially as a business owner. Even if you're not a business owner, like just a working mom, even it may be a stay-at-home mom, which technically that's what I thought I was doing. I'm not, but that all, like, I still needed that time. And I remember meeting with Michelle and making that time.
Yes.
And Josh at the time was working, my husband, for a job he had to show up for. That flexibility kind of lacked in that season. Yeah. And even when I made that time, the person I was at home, mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, I know, cover your ears, but it's the facts. I'm a married woman. I'm still I'm not even 30 yet. Yeah. Hanging on to that. Not quite. But I'm
not 50 yet. I'm hanging on to that.
But seriously, you have to stop in your season and be like, okay, doesn't matter what your role is. We're all busy. Dads, you're all busy. That's all exactly busy. Right. And you're always going to be. Yeah. We live in a fast-paced, busy-oriented world, no matter which way you cut it or slice it. Yeah. And if you don't make the time for yourself physically, 1, you're sluggish. 2, my sleep has always suffered. And that's always been a big thing that I've communicated. At the era in my life pre-Briggs, I was focused on physical. I wanted to look a certain way. Of course, I'm young, and I was even younger then. Yeah. Yes, that's a great important thing. Even now, though, although I do care physically, who doesn't? Let's be real. Right. If you're saying you don't, you're lying. It's a fact.
Don't be a liar.
Yeah, but also now I'm like, okay, I have a 3.5-year-old. I want to be healthy. I want to keep up. I want to be present, and it will pay off. You investing in yourself for that physical workout, that time, it could be 30 minutes. It could be 45 minutes. I get to go when Briggs is at school. That's the only way I can slice it right now in this season. Yep. I've never regretted it. Never. Yeah. And even Josh, my husband, he agrees with that. Like, that's something we have to do to feel our best and to be our best for Briggs and for ourselves and our marriage. Yeah. Absolutely. In our business.
Well, and exercise is the best medicine.
It is.
Outside of your relationship with God.
Yeah.
But exercise is the best medicine. It is. That's a stress reducer. You release those endorphins. That's why everybody wants to get high, right? It's an endorphin release, right? And so you get that physical high, if you will, naturally, and then it already starts affecting your blood pressure, your blood sugar,
everything,
your cortisol level, which is your stressor, right? Ladies, if you realize that you've lived in a high state of stress and you have this, all of a sudden you have this extra tummy weight that you've been carrying around, that's from living in a high state of stress and no release, right?
Yeah.
And you sleep better and all those things. And you might, sleep, but how well do you rest?
True,
and that's
rest,
rest. And so exercise is the best medicine, regardless of your age.
Period.
Period. But the other thing too is, if you want to stay and you want to be the best mom for your high schooler, right, and keeping up and feeling well, the best grandma that you can be, it starts now. It doesn't really matter what age. And the other thing too is as we age, if we're not cognizant of that, we start losing our balance. We start losing muscle mass. We start having saggy skin. We start, like, all of those things play into. But back to our relationships, right? It ultimately, as women, it's how we feel in our skin and how, a lot of trainers are always like, let me help you look good naked. Well, that looks good. That sounds great. And that's more of a man thing. But ultimately, it's how we feel in our skin, how we look in our clothes, right?
Yeah,
if you put on last year's Christmas dress, and you're not really digging it.
You're shimmying into it.
Yeah. Or you look like Mrs. Claus in it, right? Or feel like it. But here's the other thing, ladies. Recognize of how you see yourself is very different than how our husbands see us.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we all know how we feel in our cycle.
Yeah. A balloon.
But now, like when you know each other well, you kind of like, are you feeling okay? Right?
Yeah.
But our husbands don't see us that way. They still love us if they're truly there. If they're, let's just be real, if they're an ass, like, right, they're going to say something and you have my permission to punch them. But, right? But in reality, when they love you, they also know that you're a mom, you're busy, and you see those things.
You're doing
but
your
they're
best,
also going to encourage you to take care of yourself so that you can show up and that you guys can continue to have a positive relationship, but also continue to do life together. Because I'm going to tell you, when you become an empty nester and you have to relearn what you were, because we're very different than we were 20 years ago. Lord have mercy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We're very different. But it takes some time. And if you,
absolutely,
you know, if you've kind of been in a different path, and I was super, super focused on Reese because I got one shot and I didn't want to screw it up. And Lord have mercy knows that you do. You screw things up because I have an inattentiveness to things. I'm just going to own that.
Sure.
But in reality, you have to get back, and it comes back down to you guys.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what stage of life you're in. And so how you take care of yourself from the inside out helps you deal with your stress, helps you deal with how you feel, how you look, how you sleep. And that then, of course, leads to a positive or negative going through the holidays.
It does. Yeah, it changes the entire mindset, and we're realistic during the holidays. You're not going to be eating super clean. So that allows you that time. It's like, okay, that's where real life balance. Like, I'm a real person. I'm going to be eating this sweets.
I'm a foodie.
I am. I'm such a foodie.
Right.
So I have to be real with myself. Okay, that's fine when I'm finding the balance, because I'm still going to go put that time into work out and take care of myself. So I'm not feeling like a slug, because I can't. I have a 3.5-year-old. I have a husband. I have businesses. I can't press pause.
No. Well, and the other thing too is when you're working out and you're taking care of yourself, that boosts your immune system.
Oh, it's huge.
So what I notice is the ones that are very sick all the time, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but like in reality, like how you take care of your body inside and out, right? And so exercise is your natural medicine, but it's also your immune boost. Right?
Absolutely.
And so I did a post today, and wellness doesn't come from a prescription bottle or a prescription pad. It comes from taking care of ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Oh, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up because we could talk forever, but we got all kinds of stuff coming up in the next year.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
Sounds bizarre because in, a month, less than a month, we're in a new year. So 2024 is going to be lots of fun because we're still going to be talking about how you taking care of yourself affects your sex life.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Because if you're not happy with yourself, you're not happy at home, and it just spills into everything.
It does.
So, all right, so recap a little bit, right? It's okay to be busy. Make time for yourself. And remember that the holidays are 1 to 2 days, right? So if you really enjoy Grandma's bread pudding, Aunt Becky's pecan pie, whatever the case may be, know that you're going to be enjoying it, but then you got balance the rest of the time. Because again, it's 1 day. And
yes.
Or 2, depending on what's going on, right? But taking care of yourself is the ultimate thing. This is real life about how you can be a better mom, right? Mm-hmm. Dealing with those things. We want to hear from you about the craziness of life.
Yeah.
Whether you own your own business or dealing with a work schedule, especially if you travel with work. That comes into a lot of things, and we both did that.
Yep.
And then how you can show up as the best mom, wife, daughter, sister, business owner, worker, employee. Mm-hmm. All of those things, because we want to just bless you. We want to bring a little bit of, oh my gosh, I'm not alone.
No, just being able to relate.
Yeah. And that laughter cry, and like you might be like, holy crap, was she in my bathroom this morning?
Yeah, because we all live it. It's just not everybody says it.
That's right. All right. So, guys, we are so incredibly grateful that you joined us. We're super excited to see you on the next episode. By all means, smash the subscribe button and share this with others, and let's make a difference for each and every one of you. And until next time.
Yeah.
Bye. Will you hit that?
Yep.